Hello and welcome to Acrylicode. Today we have a new TouchDesigner tutorial about image instancing. Before we move on, please consider subscribing to the channel and turn on the notification bell to support us into making more tutorials. We also recently launched our Patreon with different tiers to offer all TouchDesigner files, online tools to create generative art, as well as personalized classes. I will leave the link to the Patreon in the comments for everyone who is interested. Now back to today's tutorial. I will start with this one exactly where we left off on this tutorial on cloth instancing. I will also leave the link for this in the description in case you want to check it out first and then come back to this one. Or you could also download the file directly from our Patreon. So once you're here, you could keep working directly on this project, but I prefer having my project separately, so I will copy paste the original one and work on project 2. I will put the top viewer to project 2 and then we're all set. We have our starting point. So now I'm going to import an image into TouchDesigner. This can be any image. I just downloaded a random image from Google of this woman on a white background. These 5 nodes here we're not going to use, so I'll just delete them, and right now we need to get the position of each pixel in our image. Now the picture in itself doesn't have any position data, it only has colors. So to get the position data we are going to use the UVs, which is a grid in the top world. So in order to instance these little cubes, we're going to get the color of each pixel from the imported image and the position data from the UVs. For this to work, we need the image and the UVs to have the same resolution. For now, let's attach the UVs to the math top, and we're going to delete all these bottom nodes. Great, for the next part we're going to introduce our image, which is now a movie file in. I'll click on the image and press Option N on the keyboard to create a null top right after it. I'll press on the bottom left button here to lock the null, and like so I'll be able to save the pixel data and delete the movie file in. You don't have to do this, but I like to do so later if I want to share the TOX file with someone, I won't have to include the original image and I won't have to create a zip file. Now right click on the out of the null and attach a fit. In the parameter window, go to Common, and like we mentioned before, we're going to set the same resolution for the UVs and the image. The constant chop here is controlling the resolution globally, so put the constant viewer active, drag and drop it onto the resolution of the fit chop reference. Great, so now we have the right resolution and we can connect the fit to the colors. Let's delete all these nodes here on the left, we're not going to use those either. Now we notice the image here has some weird lines which weren't there on the original image. This is caused by the position of the camera and the scaling of the box. So if I go to the camera node and move the camera closer or further to the image, it affects these lines. And the same happens if I change the value of the box scale. So I kept on changing the values here until the lines disappeared altogether. Now we have a clean picture of the woman. In reality, there are little boxes here being created on every pixel. Now we're going to use the fit data to affect the position of the boxes. Right-click on the connecting line between the fit and the colors, go to Add Operator and add a monochrome top. Right-click on the out of the monochrome and add a limit top, which can limit the pixel values of the input image to fall between a minimum and maximum value. So basically all the darker pixels of the image are going to snap to black and the lighter pixels to white. In the parameter window, go to Quantize, set the value to floor, and if we increase the value step to almost 1, then all the silhouette of the woman is going to be all black. Now later on we're going to multiply the silhouette to a noise. In order for the multiplication to work, the silhouette needs to be white, since all the black pixels have a value of 0, and multiplying by 0 will not give us anything. So to fix this, we right-click after the limit, attach a level, and in the parameter window we set the invert value to 1, which will completely invert the colors of the image. Now we might think that we're ready here, but if we turn the level viewer active and press D, we notice on a random pixel on the black part of the image that the RGB values are not 0. And since they have a value that is not completely 0, if we do the multiplication later, this will cause the background of the image to also move, when we in fact only want the silhouette to move. To fix this, let's right-click, add a math top, and in the parameter window set the integer to either floor or round. Now if we try and analyze this image, then we notice that on the black background we have RGB values of 0, and on the white part we have RGB values of 1. Great, now I'll move the chain a bit to the left, and to close the network I'll attach a null right at the end. I'll rename it to mask and color the node green. In the next step, we're going to create a noise and multiply it to the mask we just created to get the blue values of the positions, which gives us movement in the z-axis and creates some depth. So let's create a noise top, and in the first input we're going to attach the UVs. In the parameter window of the noise, go to Output and set RGB to Noise. Right-click after the mask, attach Multiply and connect both the noise and the mask to it. After this, we're going to attach a reorder, which will cause the Multiply to set the blue values and the UVs to set the red and green values. So let's go ahead and create the reorder top and attach the UVs to the first input and the Multiply to its second input. We don't see here any changes, and this happens because by default all output values of the reorder are set to input 1 when we actually want the blue output to be input 2. Once we change this, we can see the noisy silhouette colored in blue. So this is going to affect the Z values in the instancing, and we're going to witness this as soon as we connect the reorder to the math. The effect right now is pretty drastic, and to dial it down we're going to modify the noise before it's connected to the multiply. So let's create a ramp and connect either the constant or the UVs to its input so we have the same resolution everywhere. After the noise, attach another multiply and connect both the ramp and the noise to its inputs. Now here on the parameter window of the ramp, we notice that the ramp is creating a phase, which is now set to horizontal. Let's set here the phase type to vertical, and we also want to get rid of this abrupt cut between phases by setting both extend left and extend right values to mirror. Now in the ramp we're going to decrease the white part, and we do this by creating a new point in the ramp and setting its color to completely black. What this does is create this smooth transition of the movement from bottom to top. And from here you can tweak this by changing the value of this point we just created. From here we can animate the phase by typing in upstime.seconds times 0.5 or any other speed of animation. And then from here you can play around with the values of the noise or the ramp and explore different results. But this is basically it. I'm curious to see what you come up with. If you try this out, do tag us on Instagram. Otherwise, thank you so much for watching. I hope you learned something useful and got some inspiration. If you have any questions or suggestions for future tutorials, please let us know in the comments, and we'll see you next Friday with a new tutorial. Until then, have a good week. Bye!